guys, welcome back to our channel. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Josie, and this is my dad Peter, certified master baker. Our channel is primarily focused on teaching you guys how to make the highest quality baked goods and desserts at home each week. Today we're going to be making a challah bread, so I'm going to pass it over to my dad to just tell us a little bit about the recipe and why this bread is so special.
Okay, so we're just going to do a rundown on the recipe for this dough. It's a challah bread. It's a classic Jewish loaf, fairly simple. The main components of challah is it's got to have egg in it. Usually has a little bit of vegetable oil, but otherwise it's flour, water, yeast, salt, oil, egg, a little bit of sugar, just a pinch of sweetness. So we're going to put it all together. We're going to let it proof for about an hour, and then we're going to divide it up, and we're going to braid it, make a couple different braided loaves out of it.
All right, and if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe so you stay tuned for all of our future videos. And we're going to go ahead and get started on this bread.
That's it.
Okay, so as you can see here, we are getting started with making just a little well in our flour, and then we're just adding our salt and our warm water to that, and we're starting to mix everything together, and then we're going to add the yeast and then the oil and the eggs after that. As you can see, the way my dad does it, he just kind of whips up the eggs in there and then starts folding in the flour just little by little. Sorry for the bright quality in the first little bit there, but I got it figured out. And so here he is, he's just kind of doing different techniques for kneading this dough. It's crumbly right now, as you can see, but he keeps kneading it for a while. He probably kneaded it for maybe 15 minutes or so until we got the desired consistency that we wanted. So after we got it into a ball and we let it rise for a little bit, we sectioned it off into 3 equal parts, and then those 3 parts into 3 equal parts. And then each one of those little pieces we rolled out into a rope, a little snaky snake, if you will. And so then the first thing that we were doing was we were doing just three-strand braids with the challah braid. And so you start braiding just in the middle, and then you section it off. And I was having a little bit of trouble doing this because I braid hair more than I braid bread. And so I was doing it how I would on somebody's head, but it's very different with the dough. There has to be more air pockets. So as you can see, my dad undid mine, and then he taught and showed me the correct way to do it. So you have to really lift the dough higher up when you're braiding it, so it gets that perfect braided shape. And then you just pinch off the edges, and then my dad took on the endeavor of doing the 4-strand braid, which is, it looked impossible just watching him do it. I mean, do what you will with this clip, but and then, so last but not least, we just brushed it with an egg wash, a very simple egg wash. And then traditionally there's poppy seeds on them, so we did poppy seeds. And then we also did one with some sesame seeds and one with both. And then we just let those ones bake on just a flat baking sheet. And then the second ones that we did the same exact thing with the braiding, but we put them in loaf pans instead. And so that just makes it so that it's conformed to that shape. So when it rises in the oven, it gets that shape of a loaf. And as you can see, once we baked it in the end, it did have that beautiful loaf shape, and all of them ultimately were beautiful. They tasted delicious. And I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe.
All right, so we are back with our baked challah bread. As you can see, this is the one that we cooked in the loaf pan. So it has that bread shape to it. And then these are the two that we just braided and left to bake without the help of any side support or anything like that.
Yeah, so this is a 3 braid and this is a 4 braid. So you can see a little different.
It's a little tighter here, and yeah. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to break into one of these. We're going to break bread.
We're going to break bread.
We're going to give it a little...
That's the beauty of this, is you just tear off a piece. That's kind of a big piece, but just grab a little hunk.
Wow.
That's the way you eat it.
So good. It's very light and fluffy. The crust has a really good crunch to it. Perfect.
And then you can also use this one if you want to have sandwiches. And of course, I love it for French toast. But you can see it's got a fairly even crumb. Not real light, but not real dense either. It's really nice, fluffy, kind of a creamy texture.
All right.
Good stuff, huh?
Really good. Stay tuned with us next time. Make sure you like and subscribe. And
That's